All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to the Paradise League HoN Pro Tournament number 3 Grand Finals. This is it, game number 3. And that's right, yes, I'm BreakCBK, going to be joining you guys for game number 3, joined by Dutch Ownage once again. Excited to be here and looking forward to seeing not only what happens this game, we'll see if things continue on, but obviously some work to be done for Bpro, as currently Vinicius is up 2-0 in this series. Dutch Ownage, how's it going though? How's the series been so far?
Yeah, it's going good. I'm happy to be able to relax a little bit and let you do the casting. Be able to infocast again is lovely. But yeah, the series have been quite dominated by the Vinicius. Bpro not really managing to find the dominance that they were showing yesterday, because they were actually yesterday they were also a bit off actually, but they they played a game earlier today against TGT. Yeah. So that was the game with the team with Vulca and What You Got and Fall and Eston, and they defeated them like 2-0 like really quickly. Which was surprising to me, because prior to this game, or like to the series, I would have said that TGT was probably the strongest team there. So, yeah, go for it.
Well, I was looking at the bracket, kind of to your point, but yesterday in the winter bracket finals, these two teams played, and Vinicius won that series 2-1. So Vinicius kind of has Bpro's number in that sense. He has Bpro playing good earlier today, but obviously Vinicius definitely has something figured out against them, and now up 2-0 in this series. So from what you've seen in this series, do you think Bpro has what it takes to at least keep this one going?
Yeah, absolutely. So yesterday they were also playing with a ringer, which was Mind Tricks, replacing Novi Pirates. Which means that Mindtrix was Novi Pirates is a support player, but Mindtrix was playing like carry or position 1, which means that like everything just got shifted up a little bit. You know, everyone was like slightly out of their comfort role, which means that like now things are back to normal here. Everything should be a lot better. But if we were to go over the bans, Bushwhack has been picked up a lot in the past. Like today even. And I talked about this with Probusk the previous series, or previous game. It seems like every cycle there's like one hero that stands out that like everyone just doesn't want to play against. So 2 series ago that was like Armadon. Armadon was like being picked up every game and very dominant. 1 series ago it was Plague Rider. Plague Rider bouncing all over the place, killing everyone. And this series, it's Bushwhack. Bushwhack has been picked up or banned like every game basically, and they made a point of it and just decided to ban it here.
So here's what we are seeing as we're almost to the next tier of picks even. Let's start getting to that real quickly, because stuff to talk about. The Flux NG combination on the Legion side over here for Vinicius, that's always been a staple in HoN's history. I mean, we all know why it's so powerful with the energy field and Flux pull in combination. But Adrenaline on the other side as well. I'm excited to see Adrenaline. He's a hero that came later on in the HoN scene, obviously, and I personally really don't have too much knowledge on it. I haven't seen him much, so I'm very curious to see how he does in this game 3.
Yeah. So Adrenaline is not the same Adrenaline you might remember as. He also got the strength treatment. It's not the weird true damage illusion Adrenaline that it used to be. So I'm not sure how good you remember the old Adrenaline or the new one.
Wasn't he the hero that had the energy bar?
Yeah, exactly. That it was really dumb actually, because he had an energy bar and no mana. Basically an Amon Ra has no mana on purpose, so you can kind of interact with his ultimate. But in the same vein, Adrenaline had no mana and a percentage mana regen. So he would reach in 7% mana per second. But what you could do is if you would get a sheep stick, so a huge mana pool, and then buy a Gnome's Wisdom, you could just spam spells and heal an insane amount, because you would spend 30% of your mana pool every few seconds.
Yeah, that's broken.
Yeah, it absolutely was. But sorry, so other heroes besides the Adrenaline, because Adrenaline also got nerfed a little bit like recently-ish. It's not really a strong hero, so I'm definitely surprised to see it picked up this early. But maybe they know something that I don't.
Well, I mean, yeah. Well, help me out. Like, we haven't seen it in this series yet, right? Like, we haven't seen him in this tournament at all. This is completely new. Okay.
So he has a short blast, which is basically like a short cooldown nuke. Think Alonia Q. And then a rush, which is basically like a parallax dash that goes through someone and deals a little bit of damage. The Ember Shard is if you attack someone and you go back, you can pull them back with you. And then the ultimate is the interesting one. So the ultimate is like it creates this arena which enemies cannot leave. So let's say you, like Adrenaline places the ultimate and you would teleport out of the ultimate. It's like you would be instantly sent back by Gladiator. That's how you have to think about it. So if you were to like hack Blink out of it, you would instantly get sent back.
Oh, okay.
And inside this ultimate, Adrenaline gets 100% slow resistance, a lot of strength, a lot of armor, and that gets some bonuses. So if, for example, you have a Playground ultimate with staff, and then you have like an Adrenaline ultimate, the enemies can't leave, so it'll just keep bouncing around all over the place. But I'm not seeing many heroes that really work well with Adrenaline here. So I am a bit surprised. Meanwhile, Revenor is actually a hero that got buffed a little bit recently. It's still the same hero as you remember him, but his static shock, his E, heals him a lot right now in the laning phase. Because it deals like 300% damage to creeps, and he heals him for 30% of the damage dealt. So Revenor is actually quite a powerful hero if you allow him to be. But Revenor lacks armor. Usually, as like a strength hero with low agility gain.
Yeah.
He kind of like gets run over by like a lot of physical damage. And what do you see on the Hellborns or on the Legion side? That is a Hammerstorm.
Yeah, we saw them play Hammerstorm. Wait, that was them, right? Yeah, Vinicius. That was like game 1 yesterday. Where he farmed TTT. Very well. Yeah. That was the one that they lost, go figure, in that series. Yeah. They won the series in the end, but the Hammerstorm himself, though, did very well. And I will say, they have the Pharaoh on their side. Remember, that was the big issue in that matchup, too, where they were going against the Pharaoh. He had troubles with that. So
it was the Madman and the Monkey King, remember?
Yeah, that with the Pharaoh, yeah.
Yeah, he just couldn't catch them. And like, if you look at the enemy team right now, Gladiator is quite tanky, but he's not slippery. And I think that is where like the Hammerstorm like specializes in. Hammerstorm is happy when he just gets to hit things.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, like, if you look at the... I can try to quickly pull up the hero picks from yesterday. But... no, one game before that. Oh, well, wait. I mean, there's okay. Yeah, go.
Well, I was gonna say we got plenty to talk about in this game itself. I mean, we got Monarch. Obviously, is going to be dual lane with Flex here in the mid lane. As the lanes are starting to sort up now. Hammerstorm with Engineer at the bottom, and of course Suicide Pharaoh. That's to be expected. He's going to be in that solo lane. But so far, the Hellborn, looks like they're interested in doing more of a tri-lane setup at least initially. Maybe going to go for the Bloodlust kill up on a Pharaoh at the top lane, but. We'll see if Jujenko gives him the chance. It doesn't look like it. He's playing very defensive, so Scrap is going to make his way to the mid lane now and going to be a 2v2.
Yeah, so Gladiator is not the best 2v2 hero. I think Flux is a really good like 2v2 hero because the power of Flux is like in one, how tanky he is, and two, like just the base damage that he has. Because compare like the base damage of like most range heroes to like the 62 from Flux.
Mm-hmm.
That is just... a lot of damage.
Big difference. Yeah, you mentioned that, yes. I mean, we saw it, too. Flux is just such a powerful last hitter, and his W, the Magnetic Surge, it allows him to harass and also assist with last hitting, so it's a difficult task for Snark here on the Gladiator, but we'll see. I mean...
They choose to send Revenor solo against Pharaoh.
Yeah.
Which, that is surprising to me. Because... Revenor like heals a lot right now, but if you he heals a lot with his E, but that's mainly when he's like hitting last hitting creeps, not necessarily when he's like hitting enemies, because the E deals 20 damage, and it heals them for 30%, but it also deals 300% damage to enemy creeps, or to creeps, I mean. So let's say every time every 2 times, it procs the static shock, and it does 60 damage. So you heal like roughly 20 every 2 hits, which is good, honestly. It's nice sustain, you know?
Yeah.
But which otherwise like the hero like really lacked, because the reason this change was made, maybe you can go over that a little bit. Because Revenor...
Adrenaline? By the way, bottom lane, they might go for kill an engineer. They went to Adrenaline first, but the Shard Blast comes out with the rush and turns, and now Malaka, he's in trouble as well. One more hit should do it. Gonna pop the mana potion for a stun, maybe? That's not gonna happen. That's a double tap coming out for the side of Bpro. Well played right there. I mean, that was Adrenaline being gone on first, but clearly not the firepower they thought they had.
Yeah, Adrenaline is very much... Okay, think about like Artesia Q level early on, right? Very low cooldown, quite high damage, and a little bit of slow. So it's hard to get away from. Notably also, he had the Lunar Tear. Of course, also quite a new item, relatively. But
yeah,
it's like it's like an item that gives you like a burst 100 extra mana. And on a hero that can like spam spells. Like, for example, like on King Cloud, you know? It has like infinite spells to spam, but not enough mana for that usually. On those heroes, it's insane. Because it gives you like just basically like a 100 extra mana pool in the early game that you would otherwise not have. But yeah, it's... Oh, actually, double stun here on the bottom lane.
Yeah, that was a big double stun. Nice keg follow. But I think they kind of learned their lesson earlier, right? They're like, okay, we got some damage in, but... And now with that protective talisman, you mentioned that's the... You know, it's a very extra tanky tool that he has, so got to be careful about committing for a kill on him.
Yep. So, the Adrenaline Q. I think it's important to mention something about that here. Oh, actually, Scrap and Flux going at it. Look at the mid lane.
Yeah, Mousetrap's going to hit the stun. I think he should be fine, though. Flux just a tad too tanky with Monarch coming over. Not going to be able to go for, or maybe Flux coming back in with the Invis now. He's waiting for a setup. They want to kill that Scrap, but he's kiting too well. Monarch puts himself under with the Chrysalis. Gladiator has another whip and a wha-bam! 109 damage. That's a dead Monarch there, so well played by the side of Bpro. And I mean, they're up 3-0, 2,000 net worth lead. This is a fairly solid start here, 4.5 minutes in.
Yeah, it's like the Flux was just a little bit too low there early on, because the Scrap spells just do a lot of damage early on, right? I think we talked about this yesterday as well a little bit. With Scrap's Q and W dealing 140 and 120 damage level 1 respectively. It's just a lot of harass damage coming out there.
Yeah.
So Flux wanted to bottle up a little bit more before he actually went in, but he just wasn't given the chance.
Top lane. Pharaoh and Rabbit are going, oh, we missed the ball lightning, though, and now that could be the turn. That's going to be cool. Somebody's dying right here. It's going to be Pharaoh going down. Rabbit will manage to live. He's going to heal on up just barely and stay alive. Whoa, that was a close. I love just the man mode right there, the committing. In the end, Pharaoh falls first. Yeah,
that was big for him. Because if Pharaoh got the kill there, then suddenly like you are in a lot worse spot than as the Revenor. But the powerful thing about the Adrenaline Q is that it is quite a mana expensive spell. It costs like 95 mana level over here, level 3. Which is why I think he picked up a mana boots here, so he can spam it. But if you hit 2 or more heroes with the same ability, the cooldown and the mana cost goes down for 7 seconds.
Yeah.
So I think that is what happens when they killed in the bottom lane, you know?
Yeah.
The Engineer and the Hammerstorm stacked up. They got hit by the Q. And then like the Adrenaline can go nuts.
Maybe that's what caught them off guard, yeah. If he doesn't hit that lineup, then maybe it's a different story. So Yeah, it kind of gives them that steroid effect that it's like, oh crap, this was a bad decision. And it clearly proved to be that in the end. So, I mean, I still can't get over it. This is across the board. It's looking very good right now for Bpro. I mean, 3,200 gold lead. 6.5 minutes in. Ravenor, the big chunk of that, is Hammerstorm. He's trying to do some stacks right now with the assistance of Engineer.
Look at the top lane.
Oh, that'd be a big kill. They're going to go Wrath of the Pharaoh. Follow up from Monarch. Ravenor's got the ball lightning, though. Hellfire making it difficult, but he's just fast enough. Stuns back in. And with Pearl coming in, they may try to go for a turn. Whirl Bubble pushback, though. And yeah, Ravenor was a little too low to go for a man mode commit that time around, but unsuccessful gank at the top lane.
Yeah, and the important part is that Ravenor lives, right? So his ultimate just gives him so much movement speed. So, okay, there were like a couple of changes made to the Ravenor last patch. One is that like his ultimate level 1 only used to scale to like 80 charges max. Now it goes up to 160 charges, like at all levels. So his early game ultimate is just a lot more powerful. And notably, his Q spell, the stun, the ball lightning, actually scales down in cooldown now. So level 3 ball lightning has 10 seconds cooldown.
Yeah.
For like a 1.5 second stun. That is powerful. Actually, they're gonna walk into Hammerstorm maybe here.
Well, this Hellborn team, it does scream, we want to fight. I mean, kind of 2 years talking about right there with both Adrenaline and Ravenor as, yeah, bottom lane Engineer. Taking some damage from both Pearl and Scrap. Nice keg stun, though, and now Pearl's in a horrible position. Monarch going to be the assistance there with a crippling pull-in, and they will successfully get the turn kill. So ends up being kind of a 3 versus 3 lane down here. And finally on the board is Vinicius. That's that one.
Apparently it's Vinicius.
Vinicius?
Vinicius. I don't know. I've been calling it Kevin's team.
Kevin's team. That's a lot easier to say.
Yeah, I know, right?
I assume somebody's named Kevin over there?
Yeah, the blue guy.
Okay.
So the Fluxamine. Oh, actually, they're going in on the Pharaoh DD.
Oh, Ravenor's also going up at the top lane, but yeah, back to the bottom lane. Adrenaline, he is going to get killed. Oh, wow, one more attack. Okay, he knows he's dead. Just a matter of time. However, up at top, Pharaoh goes down as well. Flux with the pushback. Popping his discharge right there to get them away. He's trying to, but Ravenor wants to look at that early damage. This is exactly what you're talking about. Ravenor is a beast. Not even 9 minutes in, he is hitting hard.
Yeah, because like before the patch, like his ultimate level 1 would only scale to max of 80 charges. Which means that like his ultimate would only give like a max of plus 40 damage and plus 40 movement speed or something like that. Which is it's nothing, right? Compared to like late game level 16 Ravenor, which deals plus 240 damage, and it's like plus the 120 movement speed or something. No, plus 240 movement speed as well.
Yeah, you do not want to fight if you're Kevin's team over in the Legion side at this earlier, and it takes me back to that game 1 of the previous series that we're talking about, the Hammerstorm pick, where they really just want to play this, protect the Hammerstorm, and make sure he's getting farmed. Now, it's okay. I mean, we've seen the stacks been going on, but to the credit of Bpro especially, they have been making sure that's not been easy. But bottom lane, Adrenaline, great follow-up with the keg stun, that the succession is there. Adrenaline's got his key. He just basically accepted death, though, at that point. Not much more Scrap could do. It was just a good setup, but yeah, I mean, you can see what they're doing. They have both supports now babysitting this Hammerstorm down here as they want this kill. Great keg stun with the energy fill there on Scrap, and will be another kill, but it might come at a cost. Hammerstorm, Ravenor, ball lightning. You know what's coming out. Will it connect? No, it's a little too obvious right there. However, it forces Hammerstorm to back off a bit. Good ulti from Monarch, though. That'll make sure to get Hammerstorm the getaway in the end, but he is still low on life, so you got to be careful.
Yeah, Stark Invis behind the tower, Gladiator.
Oh, man. That's a kill. Yep, that's a kill. Call to arms coming in. You're just going to accept death at this point if you're Hammerstorm, pretty much. Ravenor wants the kill. He's trying to get a turn. No, Snark will take it. At least they get it.
Yeah, like Ravenor does need some more mana early on, though. Like a chalice or something, because he has a lot of like really spammable spells right now. That in like a prolonged team fight, like Ravenor, much like Ravenor has always been. I don't know. Remember if you remember, like now on the Ravenor hitting meta potions to keep up his ultimate.
Yeah. I mean,
that was great game design. No, but like Ravenor does well in longer team fights because it takes a while to get his charges up. Because these days, it's not items that actually give you stacks on his ultimate, but it's only auto attacks and spells. But if you get 8 charges per auto attack or spell, so like every auto attack on average gives you like about 20 stacks, something like that. Oh, actually, they're going on a Pharaoh here.
Yeah, they want the Pharaoh. Speaking of Ravener, he's going to be part of it. The collapse happens. Rather than the Pharaoh used, try to maybe delay them for a turn, but Engineer, by the time he's ported in, it was already way too late, so this tower is likely to fall as well. And yeah, kind of as you're going off of there, it allows Ravener to also build maybe a bit more tanky and still be able to produce so much damage because of how he works. And
yeah,
kind of seeing that right here.
Yeah, he just needs like auto attack speed.
Yeah.
Or attack speed. And so the big issue of Ravenor is armor. He's a strength hero that like lacks armor, while most other strength heroes have some other way of negating, like Hammerstorm has 8 passive armor. Oh,
he's dead. Let the taunt come out, baby. Flux runs him down. Monarch there to assist too, but Adrenaline, that's his 3rd death of the game, so he's tanky himself, but he's been the one hero that's had a little bit of struggle staying alive. But overall, as a team, Bpro still pretty satisfied as they're up 4,000 gold currently.
Yeah, Ravenor did pick up an Outbound for some farming potential.
Well, attack speed as well. It's a good combo.
Yeah, so usually I think we see something like Elder Parasite on Ravenor. It does make him like more squishy, but it's just by far the most efficient auto attack or like attack speed item in the game. And it gives you like a little bit of lifesteal as well.
You know, an item I was thinking, because there's a hero called Slark in Dota 2. I don't know if you're familiar with him, but a similar concept where the longer a fight lasts because he just stacks up his charges and he just does a crazy amount of damage if the fight goes on forever.
What do the charges do?
Going like an Echo Saber in Dota, which is Twin Fangs in HoN. So wondering if that's maybe an item that he'd be thinking about, but well, either we could have time to think about that because Adrenaline is going to pop that Halo in the mid lane, going off there. However, he's diving that tower pretty aggressively, not getting the biggest backup. Monarch getting the speed boost. Wrath of the Pharaoh trapping him in as well. Adrenaline, he is just so tanky though, allowing for the damage to happen around him. Finally goes down, but Ravener's in there, walks through the energy field though, realizing with the tower up, you don't want to overcommit, or maybe they do. Ball lightning in a couple more seconds, running down into Flux. Flux, beefy boy himself, good keg stun, keeping Flux alive for the time being. Hammerstorm stun at the last second, they do kill Flux, but at what cost? They're going to lose the Ravenor. Hammerstorm wants more, but he's just too damn slowed. The last man standing for the Legion side, and all he could do is kind of sit back.
Yeah. So, like, Pearl is... Oh. Gladiator catches the Hammerstorm here.
Uh-oh. Do they have the damage? I don't think so. No.
I think Gladiator could have committed there. Wait, buyback. Buyback Flux.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Oh, he did. Wow.
I think he thought
they were going to commit, yeah.
Yeah, I think he realized he didn't have a TP, because his TP just came off cooldown. That was like, you know, I can buy back, and then you buy back, and you see like your TP's on cooldown, you kind of feel like, oh.
Yeah.
Mistakes were made, you know? But,
you see Borax, by the way, being sent out top lane. We saw bottom earlier, but...
There he goes again. Fun. I think we're gonna see a lot more 4x this game, probably. But yeah, like, sorry, what were we saying about Ravenor? You said, like, Twin Fangs. Do you mean Twin Blades, or...?
Twin Fangs, is it not called that? Or is it called Twin Blades? Twin Blades, it is called Twin Blades. Oh, bottom lane, Adrenaline's going to be picked off, by the way. Halo, I don't think it's going to save him here. As, yeah, they just simply collapse on him. Wrath of the Pharaoh used and Hammerstorm stun. Good follow-up. But yeah, Twin Blades is what I meant, yes.
Well, Twin Blades is, like, mainly picked up for heroes that, like, really lack attack speed. And, like, Twin Blades has, like, a 5 seconds cooldown. So if you want to do a lot of burst damage, it's fine, but... A hero like Ravenor doesn't really need to do burst damage, it necessarily just needs to stay into the team fight. So, an item that's actually really good on the Ravenor is Armor of the Mad Mage. It's an armor item that gives, like an aura that gives minus magic armor. Because Ravenor, of course, with that ultimate, converts all of his attack damage into superior magic damage.
Yeah, that's a good combo. That definitely would enhance quite a bit. So,
Oh,
I mean,
Hammerstorm.
he's out the Elk Bones. We'll see what he decides to go for next. Hammerstorm, he sees these Ancients, but so does the Hellborn team. Hammerstorm knows he's in a pretty bad spot. Chrysalis helping him out initially, but the damage of Ravador again, too much. There's a Flux Edgy combo. A little too late, though, to save Hammerstorm. He's staying dead for the time being, and Hellborn's team wants more. Flux going to do what he can, but it's going to be pulled right back in. The pitfall, it's going to miss there. It doesn't matter. Is an easy peasy kill on him too. Wrath of the Pharaoh. They gonna kill Ravador. Yeah, he overcommitted right there. Okay. Well, at least they get something out of it on the side of Vinicius. Kex done. He's gonna hit as well. Kevin's team. Oh my god.
Yeah, there we go.
Scrap. Oh, Adrenaline in the back lines. He wants to go in. He's got Rush another couple seconds. It's gonna use a Shard Blast for now. He has another Halo, by the way. See if that comes out here in this fight, but actually going to be trapped up in his own Halo sorts from Pharaoh with the Mummy Wall. Shaman's headdress, though, is a bit too tanky this time around. It gets away. That fight took a while. Kept going.
Yeah, it's so Revenor definitely overcommitted there. Revenor got stuck in like a tower range, and at that point, I think Pharaoh may have spawned, or I don't know why Pharaoh was so late, but Pharaoh ultimated the Revenor there. And like this is the problem with like the Revenor always. You are a strength hero, but somehow you don't feel tanky. Like as a Hammerstorm, you always feel tanky. That's because you got like passive 8 armor and stuff. As a Revenor, like it feels like one stun and you die, and I can't explain why. As they might run into Flux here. Look at this.
Yeah, they are. They're definitely gonna collapse on a Flux, and damage though. Ball landing, it's gonna connect. It's that angle, that awkward angle Flux had. He's gonna try to avoid the call to arms, but no chance really with the showdown. Brings him right back in. It's a good find on a Flux. And so look at Hammerstorm, by the way. I was wondering what this Arcana is going to turn into, and sure enough, he does go the Twin Blade. So
yeah,
he gets his own Twin Blades.
Yeah, Hammerstorm does do like a lot of burst damage, you know? So in theory, if you were only to get off 3 auto attacks, then like Twin Blades can make it 4. And that's like an increase of like 32% extra damage, if you would argue it like that. And in the same vein, if you look at like what is a Shrunken going to do here for Hammerstorm? Not super much. The problem like with the Hammerstorm, or sort of with the Revenor, is that he has the Q and the W deal magic damage, but the ultimate still goes through. Like, and Hammerstorm has no magic armor right now. Like nothing.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
I still think he needs Shrunken, though, right? Like, mobility, if anything. You need it for that.
Oh, and Revenor also, Lightbrand. Really good pickup, of course, because if you only deal magic damage, then you're going to heal every time you hit someone.
Is that going to turn into a Dawnbringer, we think? It's full on?
Probably, yeah.
That's the long con there. They kill 4X at the top lane we see there, so Hammerstorm gets some bounty out of that at least, but Hammerstorm is top farm in the game, so this kind of, again, this goes back to this, they're running the 4-1 strategy, just build around the Hammerstorm, hope that he can do enough to truly take over this game and be the beast that you know he can be, so it's so 20 minutes in. It's still considered more the early game into the mid game now, so still plenty of time, but...
Yeah, but look at pick up the GPM charts, and like after the Hammerstorm, it falls like straight off a cliff.
Yeah.
While like the Legions, or the Hellborn side, it's a lot more spread out with the Gladiator having a lot, as they actually steal some stacks here from the Legion side.
Feels bad, man.
Yeah. Even Scrap having a decent amount of money and like gold making opportunities with that Scrap, with the 4X, I mean. But yeah, like the Pearl, so, like, yesterday, we saw Pearl in combination with the Hammerstorm, you know? Where Pearl could not really do much to save the Hammerstorm, because Hammerstorm just went in, like, YOLO style. And, you know, the Pearl would just die as collateral damage if Pearl went in here. But against a Hammerstorm, where, like, Hammerstorm wants to go in aggressively, like, Pearl's amazing, because he can push you away, he can ultimate people, he can, like... dispel people. So in combination with Hammerstorm it's not great, but against Hammerstorm it's insane. As Odin might collapse here on the Pharaoh.
They are doing Kongor. Pharaoh's kind of the bait here. I think the Hellborn team somewhat has an idea, but in the end, they're not going to be able to stop it. It was a good protection. They had the mine trap over here to the north. Pharaoh was protecting the mid lane. They had sight all around. So despite being down, I mean, this is one way to help you recover, right? Is get your Kongor kill, and they successfully do that. So they're still down 8,000 gold at 21.5 minutes, but you got to start somewhere, and that Hammerstorm continues to be the absolute beast in the name of the game, and we'll see how that works out. But he does have the Warhammer. I'm guessing that, like I said earlier, if anything for mobility, you really still need that BKB. So it's likely to come out next.
Absolutely. Like, even though like the Gladiator Gladiator ultimate still stuns, like, you don't want to get pushed away by the Whirl Bubble, by the scrap spells, by the Gladiator's like ultimate and Q. You just need to have Shrunken up to deal with that. We do. Sorry, I was kind of forgot what I was going to say.
Well, Pearl. You're talking about Pearl and against it. And that's actually one note of that. It's because I'm not thinking about that as you're talking about it. And it is actually an interesting point because her preservation, the ultimate, it's great against like ranged carries. But again, the Hammerstorm is not a ranged carry. But the pushback that it does bring, as well as then the Whirl Bubble, etc. I'm seeing there got some Monarch here. Yeah, it's free kill.
And Adrenaline is just like, it's like so easy to initiate with him, as he even picks up an PK. Like, cause he's just like scrap ties to Mind Trap. It's like so the Ravenor, the strength of the Ravenor late game is purely in that magic damage that he deals. That like goes through Shrunken, superior magic damage. Where like most heroes late game, they get they sell their magic armor and buy like a Shrunken. That doesn't really work against Ravenor because he's just gonna tear through you.
Yeah.
That means that there are a couple of items that are really good against Ravenor. One of them is, of course, Shaman's Headdress. Because look at Pharaoh, as they might actually initiate on Ravenor here.
Can they? Yeah, I was going to say, do they have the damage to get the kill with Wrath of the Pharaoh coming in? Absolutely. That secures it. Well played. Good catch by Hammerstorm. You know, I was just about to bring up, too, it feels like this Legion side maybe lacking a little bit on the initiation. Well, there's a combo. Flux pulls an Adrenaline into the energy field, and so much for lacking initiation. They get back-to-back pickoffs on a couple of cores, and they're starting to open the map up a little bit.
They don't have a PK and Flux, which might hurt them a bit. But yeah, they do have, of course, the Flux Engineer combo, which we haven't actually seen anything of. But like the Ravenor just kind of like, deals a lot of magic damage. But the issue that Ravenor has is normally you have like heroes like Pharaoh that are tanky just by Shaman's Headdress and are in the front. And a lot of the heroes that you have normally in the game, they cannot deal with it. Like, the Engineer would not deal any damage to something like a Pharaoh, because, he only has, like, no physical armor. And that's also a partial weakness of the Ravenor. Because those, like, frontline tanky heroes, those are the ones that you need your carry to deal with. And Ravenor, like, specifically really sucks at dealing with those heroes, because, he only deals magic damage. So instead of, like, reducing 21% armor for the Pharaoh with 4 physical armor, he reduces 50% of the damage with like 15 magic armor.
So as Bpro's doing Kongor here, by the way, they're gonna get it. They're gonna be spotted, but a little bit too late there. Something real quickly, I noticed Adrenaline. We know we saw Hammerstorm in the matchup yesterday. A big tool that he had to deal with, and it was difficult, was the spiked Bola. And Adrenaline's going to be buying one himself. They're going to go for a combo again. There's another bullet. That's a beautiful combo indeed. Pearl's going to be killed before he gets a damn spell. Adrenaline's trying to get away now. The Death Halo put out. And Ravenor, he jumps it himself. They're going for the one turn, at least maybe on a Pharaoh. Engineer's going to let Engineer Wolf fall. But Ravenor, too much damage coming out. And that's thanks to Hammerstorm, who shows up late. But boy, did he show up in time. A 3-way, a.k.a. hat-trick coming out. And that's going to be a mid-tier 1 as well. Beautiful fight for the Legion side, and they now the gold lead is gone. We're basically back to even.
Yep. Yeah, Ravenor really just needed to Shrunken, because Ravenor got like hit by a lot of stuns that fight. So first of all, he jumped into the energy field. Then he doesn't have an Elder Parasite, so he doesn't really have a lot of attack speeds. And he also got stuck in the valuables. It's just kind of like very awkward for the Revenor to play it here. He doesn't really do the same amount of like burst window that you saw like in Hammerstorm had, right? Because the Hammerstorm went in and like people started dying. And the problem with like Adrenaline Ultimate, as you saw right there, is it's great if you are ahead because people cannot get away. But if the enemy team doesn't want to get away but wants to join your Adrenaline Ultimate,
helps Hammerstorm. Yeah.
Yeah. Like Hammerstorm is like, oh, you want to set up a battle arena? That's great. Sign me up.
Yeah, that's a good point, and he's definitely going to maybe think twice now about the ultimate placement there. But it also goes back to, as I just said, right before that fight broke out. I mean, no spiked bully yet. They need that at least on Adrenaline, if not multiple heroes, to help deal with. Because clearly this Hammerstorm, if he gets on top of you, of course, the blink helping him there.
Look at him right now.
You are going to get wrecked. And yeah, he wants somebody else. He wants Ravener. Oh, if he finds Ravener, no, he's going to go south. He'll find Pearl. Leaves fun animation. Oh my god. Like 80% life in one swing.
Yep. Oh, he has a basher as well now, the Hammerstorm.
Yeah, that's good. That
so even more like, yeah. And like Ravenor, ultimately, like both Hammerstorm and Ravenor don't have any armor items. But Hammerstorm has 17 armor, and Ravenor only has like 9.
Mm-hmm.
And that is where like a lot of the problems with Ravenor come to light. You know, the 8 armor that the Hammerstorm passively gets from his W is carrying him hard in some physical matchups.
You know, this was making me look at the other items too on this Hellborn side, and I'm looking at Gladiator. We didn't even really talk about the Mock that he picked up yet. I saw him get that sort of earlier, and he eventually, of course, built the Mock. And, you know, at the time, I didn't think much of it, but in somewhat of a hindsight factor now, it's not a tool that's really dealing with this Hammerstorm.
No, he's going for Demonic right now.
Well, sure, but I guess what I'm getting at is, was Mock worth it? I mean, I know it's a hindsight thing to say, but it feels maybe that was somewhat unnecessary. Because that's a lot of gold you're investing into that item there.
Yep. Mock is, of course, like really great on Gladiator because you just need damage for the flagellation, the whip to do his thing. As DD Hammerstorm is on the prowl actually right now.
If he pops Brute Strength, that's going to be like 600 plus damage each hit, easy.
Yep.
Oh man.
But yeah, you are right, and like I think that's the Hellborn side is lacking armor items. And actually, I was talking about this with Bush class game. Like you know, of course, like you have items like Soulsborg that gives like the whole team 2 armor. But like one item that people always forget is like Ring of the Teacher. It's like 1 AoE armor, like half of Soulsborg for 500 gold.
Mm-hmm.
Someone should, like, in my opinion, always have that item in your team.
Well, people need to go back in HoN's history and watch the Stay Green days and truly like understand what it's like to team build items.
Yeah, they just bought like AoE items, like team items, right?
Yeah, Astrolabe, Ring of the Teacher, Abyssal Skull, like they did that all and they just pushed its teams, and that was a big factor of their success, honestly. Obviously, metas have changed over time, but you get the point.
Yeah, the push meta is not as like successful anymore. Yeah. But the I think what they did successfully was not necessarily even pushing that much, but more like their team fight was just always on point, I think. Their coordination, you know?
I mean, they were really good players too. Yes, that helps.
Yeah, of course, but like everyone was good player in that bracket, but not everyone could team play like they did.
Yeah. That takes a lot of time. Fluxy. Yep. They were thinking about jumping him there, Ravener with the Invis, but deciding better of it. Yeah, pushing with the Vorax now.
As he does. Yeah, like a Vorax just forces a reaction, and that is like what Vorax does well. It forces a reaction, and it allows you to set up on that. Oh, Ravenor misses the stun.
Swing and a miss.
Yeah, the Ravenor Q is still really slow. I think we've seen like a lot of missed Ravenor stuns this game.
That's sometimes difficult to connect, but
yeah, for
he's
sure.
trying.
Like I think that's why they picked up the Gladiator as well, because it's an easy way to hit. I think like Ravenor's done. Oh, Adrenaline.
Uh-oh. That spot, energy field. That's the staff of the master energy field, by the way. Going through. Adrenaline's going to survive, though. Good help from Pearl, hoping to keep him alive, put the preservation down, but Adrenaline's still getting low after the fact. Flux with that BKB is going to be right off soon. But Hammerstorm, he shows up. His Shrunken Head currently being used off cooldown now. Pharaoh trapping them in the mummy walls, though, and Adrenaline's dead. Ravenor's dead. Everyone's dead on this Hellborn side. Bpro just falling apart. Scrap's going to be picked up. Another hat trick for Malaka, and they're just going to push right down the mid lane on this Legion side. They're not, don't know if they can finish it just yet, but they're definitely going to do some good damage here.
Yeah, and like again, you saw like the first of all, it was like Adrenaline walking into 3 people there. They did use the spike bowl on the Hammerstorm, but Hammerstorm just used his Shrunken Head right after. Plus, they even have Monarch to purge it. And the Hammerstorm just didn't really care, because the Flux, sorry, the Pharaoh was just keeping the Ravenor in check.
Yeah.
They were both stuck in the mummy walls. Pharaoh used the barbed armor, and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna sit on my ass for 6 seconds, because as long as both of us are not doing anything, I'm happy.
Yeah. No, it's definitely, again, this is one of those games where, yes, Hammerstorm is the flashy hero this time around, 760 gold per minute. It's easy to say, like, oh, yeah, he's just carrying the team truly, and to an extent he is, but it is great team support around him, and Pharaoh's a big part of that. And Energy Field from Engineer have been awesome. Obviously, Flux makes it a little bit easier, too, but just great team support. It's harder to notice, but you mentioned Monarch there, the Chrysalis, and certainly been doing his part to get some big saves in as well.
Yeah. Yeah, even the movement speed that the ultimate from Monarch gives, it helps Hammerstorm so much to chase down those targets. True. Oh, they saw this. They used the team smoke, but there was a ward on the cliff.
Oh, that's well, I guess thanks to Monarch. Yeah, that's not going to be so much of a... Oh, their counter smoke. This is going to be fun. Flux has the discharge ready. They're going to vent... Oh, what's going to happen? They're just both smoked up on each other. There's a jump. Adrenaline that goes in. The push. What's happening here? The energy field locking up Pearl. Pearl preservation is able to get off. Hammers are the beat down on Ravenor. Drops a half-life quickly. Ravenor's playing defensive now. He wants to get out. He's currently disarmed. The mummy wall keeps him in place, though. Says, you ain't going nowhere. Barbed armor put up as well. Everyone's dying on the Hellborn side yet again. And this could be the final blow on the side of Vinicius.
Yep. Yeah, again, oh, actually the bola wasn't even used, I believe. Oh no, wait, they have 2 bolas. Sorry, Hammerstorm,
Pharaoh has one.
Yeah, Adrenaline has one and the Pharaoh has one as well now.
Yeah. Oh, GG. It is official. That's game 3, and that's the series, right? That's it. It's 3-0.